session of capacity building series on blockchain technology, invoking God's blessings.
Namo Hariyandanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Agyaliyanam, Namo Vajayanam, Namo Lohe Savasahoram, Yesu Pachanamo Karo, Sava Pava Panasano, Mangalananje Sabes. Padamam Havai Mangalam, Padamam Havai Mangalam. Yarum Kadaloduttal Padanda Kiriyolum, Thidarum Manadaminati Padadakandam. Kanamum Madhusida Dravidana Tiranarum, Takkasiru Piranudalum Taritanarum Tilagume. Attilaga Vasale Polani Tulagum Bamura, Yettisayum Pugai Panakka Irita Perum Tamilange, Tamilange, Untilamai Tiramiya Sayalvaraya Vartudume, Vartudume, Vartudume.
I now request Dr. Jose Suganya, Coordinator, School of Science, Head, PG and Research Department of Computer Science, Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Sachin Jain College for Women, to welcome the gathering and introduce the resource person.
Thank you, ma'am. Hearty welcome to all participants for this capacity building series on latest technologies organized by Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Sachin Jain College for Women in association with Confederation of Indian Industry and Tamil Nadu Technology Development and Promotion Center. I am profoundly delighted to take an opportunity to introduce our guest speaker of the day, Mr. Chintan Oza, President, India Region, One Quantum, and Director, Founder, Institute, Mumbai Chapter. Mr. Chintan is a strategy and innovation management leader. Through his career span of 20 plus years with top two conglomerates of India, namely Tata Group and Reliance Group, he has worked on various projects, programs in government, defense, and private sectors. Mr. Chintan has expertise in a vast array of technologies which are disrupting today's business. He has worked on various technologies ranging from wireline, CDMA, GSM, 3G, 4G, SD-WAN, blockchain, SAP, artificial intelligence, machine learning, data centers, network infrastructure, and smart cities. His major career milestones include program managing as one of the world's fastest GSM networks, rollout in a single geography, as well as parenting with India's first smart city project as an ICT partner. Mr. Chintan is an alumnus of Haas School of Business, University of California, School of Business Unit of Oxford, and an IIT Mumbai. He holds various professional certifications like PMP, ITIL, and CSM, and a certification on smart cities. Mr. Chintan holds various volunteer and leadership positions with Project Management Institute, Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, Open Technology Forum India, Rotary International, and Bombay Management Association. As a member of Board of Studies, keynote speaker, adjunct faculty, reviewer, judge, and member of various technical committees, Mr. Chintan is rightly engaged with various academia, universities, startup, and technology standard bodies. Recently, Mr. Chintan got recognized as one of the top 50 global thought leaders and influencers for blockchain, smart cities, and 5G. We welcome you, sir. Now, without consuming any time, I would like to call upon Mr. Chintan Oza to enlighten us with his words of true wisdom. Thank you.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Let me start my screen share. I hope my screen is visible now.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Thanks all dignitaries, all seniors, leadership team of CII Shasun and other associate organizations for inviting me. Indeed, it is my pleasure to join the event and share my views on blockchain as a game changer for digital business. Let's get going. So I have been adequately introduced. I would like to take a moment here and request you and encourage you all to kindly donate blood as and when situation arises or time permits. Please donate blood. And what makes me say this is I myself is a blood donor. I have donated blood for 36 times. So thanks for your attention and kindly consider my request. Thank you so much. Let's get going. So recently I've also delivered talks on various other topics like future of jobs, rise of disruptive technologies in crisis management, taming counterfeits using blockchain, blockchain for ubiquitous computing, technology trends. This has been my annual talk since last 10 years now. XR transforming physical and digital world and tech in tech. So I have been delivering talks on various topics, and today we would have a discussion on blockchain. So this is going to be our agenda. We have got a lot to cover within this 1 hour. So we'll start with how it all began, why now, what is blockchain, what are the major types of blockchain, what is blockchain ecosystem, what are the components of it, what problem will blockchain solve, advantages of a distributed network, 6 distinct use of blockchain, DLT landscape, when to use blockchain. We'll go through various use cases. What are the developments in India? What are the other global centers on blockchain? What are the career options we have in blockchain? What are the training opportunities? What are the challenges? We would summarize and then go for a Q&A. So this is going to be a power pack agenda. We have got a lot to cover. We will start. So traditionally, if I want to transfer funds to my friend Lalchand, then I cannot transfer because myself is in Mumbai, Lalchand is in Bangalore, and I cannot transfer 100 rupees just like that. So I would need a third party, a third trusted party who would enable this transaction. And in that process, this third party would take commission of 2 rupees. And because this third party also needs to ensure certain processes, it would also add some delay. And ultimately, because I have to send money, I would pay 2 rupees commission to the third party, and ultimately my friend Lalchand would get 98 rupees. So it all started with this specific pain point. Uh, uh, Earlier, when people wanted to share, I mean, send money, and then that has been an issue. Until recently also, if you want to send money to someone who is sitting in US, it is indeed a cumbersome process. It's not the way we are used to now transacting with our UPI or Paytm accounts. Uh, let's get going. In the interest of time, I'll just skip this video. So it all started with 2008 when Satoshi Nakamoto released a paper on Bitcoin. I have shared the path of the white paper. It is bitcoin.org/bitcoin.pdf. Please have a look at it. As the paper says, Bitcoin is a purely peer-to-peer version of electronic cash that would allow online payments to be sent directly from one party to another without going through a financial institution. So this is a first sentence, and Bitcoin has met all expectation as far as the base concept is concerned. There are earlier evidences of electronic cash transfer, but Bitcoin is world's most popular cryptocurrency, and hence we can say that it all started with this publication of this white paper by Satoshi Nakamoto. Bitcoin was formally, it started transaction on 2000 in 2009. Around 10,000 bitcoins were spent to buy 2 pizzas. It is stated to be one of the first cryptocurrency of the world which has gone mainstream. It has lifetime supply of 21 million coins. It has been programmed using C++. And here is important information for all of you. 2021 attracted more money than all previous years combined. So Bitcoin has crossed around 55 lakhs of value. And I have preserved this screenshot just for the sake of reference. This was taken on 9th of November 2020 when value of Bitcoin was around 11 lakh rupees. Right now it is hovering around 55 lakh rupees. So this is where the value has jumped. And if we look at blockchain, blockchain has been continuously gaining momentum year by year from 2013 to 2016 and onwards and upwards. Blockchain has been searched and researched by various institutes, various enterprises, various academic institutes, and that is where blockchain has become one of the most sought after skills in 2020. Deloitte says by 2025, 10% of global GDP would be built on blockchain applications. And mind it, this was a pre-COVID-19 forecast. A trivia says Satoshi Nakamoto means Samsung, Toshiba, Nakamichi, and Motorola. And this is just a trivia. So the suspense whether Satoshi Nakamoto is a person or Satoshi Nakamoto is a group of companies remains I would say mystery. In 2020, blockchain was also one of the leading technology in the top 10 strategic trends published by Gartner. Gartner is a research firm which publishes technology trends every year. So I would recommend all of you to have an eye on Gartner technology trends every year. 2021 onwards, the technologies have merged and new techno management streams have been introduced. So in the last technology trend, where various technologies were mentioned as individual technologies, blockchain also figured in one of them. These are the technologies which would be defining the decade ahead. Blockchain is one of them. Apart from blockchain, artificial intelligence and machine learning would be there. 5G would be there. Drone would be there. Augmented reality would be there. Internet of Things would be there. And robotics would be there. In my various talks, I called blockchain as a pizza-based technology. Reason being, blockchain works with various technologies and helps you multiply new use cases. Think of a use case like blockchain is combined with the Internet of Things device, and then you get a new use case. When blockchain is combined along with drones connected using 5G, we have got lot many new use cases. When blockchain and robotics are converged, we get lot of new use cases in supply chain, in manufacturing, in agriculture. So this is where blockchain can be considered as a pizza-based technology. That's a base technology layer. What is a blockchain? As we are in the forum of students, it is simple, it is indeed necessary to go through the definition. As per Wikipedia, the blockchain has been described as an open distributed ledger that can record transactions between two parties efficiently and in a variable permanent way. So this was the the well-documented definition of blockchain, and key terms to remember are open. Blockchain is an open ledger. It is distributed. There are multiple copies stored across the distributed network. It is immutable. Once the record has been written on blockchain, it cannot be deleted. It is transparent. It is capable of providing multi-read and write accesses to people. It is a peer-to-peer technology. It is also a ledger, a distributed ledger, and these distributed ledgers are stored in various nodes spread across the network. Originally, blockchain was written as block and chain as two separate words, but now it is recommended that we use blockchain as a single word. So this is something which I would like to mention for all of you, that please write blockchain as a single word. Why it is called a blockchain? The simplest translation of the definition is it is a chain of blocks, and all the blocks has got information stored in it. So unlike we have our transmission network, wherein one bit is connected by another transmitting bit through link. So this is how blockchain is also linked. These blocks are linked with each other, and are the places where information is stored. Let us compare blockchain with traditional internet. If traditional internet was called as Internet of Information or Network of Information, then blockchain can be called as Internet of Value. First application of internet was email, then first application for blockchain would be Bitcoin. If uh, uh, internet use TCP/IP protocol, then blockchain uses consensus and distributed trust. At this juncture, this is a bit complex for all of you, which we would clear at a later point of time. Amazon Web Services can be considered as a platform as a service for internet, while Ethereum is considered as a platform as a service a provider for blockchain. Internet brought us information revolution, while blockchain brought us the transformation of life. We would see various use cases in action. So just to sum up on the definition and introduction part, blockchain is a new kind of distributed database. This database is broken up into blocks, where each block contains a ledger. A ledger holds various transactions, and new blocks are cryptographically created and linked to their preceding block. So any change in previous block in the blockchain causes the rest of the chain null and void. So any tampering or attempt of tampering would destroy that specific part of the ledger, and that is where it would become unusable. There are two types of blockchain. Unlike internet, we have got internet and intranet. Blockchain also has got two types of blockchain: public blockchain and private blockchain. Public blockchain does not have any central control. transactions are available publicly, and that is where it has got a slower transaction rate. Anyone without permission can read and write data on these chains. Anyone without permission being granted by another authority can read data as well. So usually when people talk about public blockchain, they mean anyone can write. While let us consider private blockchain. Private blockchain are equivalent to intranet. Think of a network which is limited to your college. Think of a network which is limited to a enterprise like Larsen and Toubro. Think of a network which is limited or available to only internal stakeholders uh, like Reliance. So private blockchain networks are no are limited to the enterprise, limited to the owners of the network, and they are trusted. For example, an industry group or group of companies, or even an academic institution, it has got a higher running cost, and these transactions on these blockchains are not public. They cannot accessed by anyone else than the I mean, people who have been granted permission to either read or write data on it. Because it is limited, not a public infrastructure, it has got faster transaction speeds. And the entire network is operated by private parties. So this is the main difference wherein we should consider while we deploy or consider any blockchain. These are the three blockchain generations. So first generation got us cryptocurrency. The main use for this generation was peer payments, investments, and remittance. The second generation brought us assets. Popular use cases are crowd economy, wherein people would be able to transact and then do a crowdfunding. They would be able to share issues like various assets, various equities. They would be able to do voting. So the blockchain, one of the use case for blockchain is conduct election and help enable people to vote. Third generation would bring is contracts, and that is where insurance, new use cases in insurance, dynamic pricing, IoT applications would emerge. What are the building blocks of blockchain ecosystem? So on the bottommost layer, there would be either internet, various sensors, algorithms or intelligence, data source, ledgers, or cryptocurrencies that would be connected to various blockchain network. Blockchain network would enable transactions of either money or of assets with way of smart contract. Smart contract is a piece of code which can be stored on a blockchain, and this code can be triggered based on certain events. So that is where this is a short summary of smart contract just for you to understand and visualize how the transaction would happen. Next is the blockchain technology roadmap. It all started in 2014. Various enterprises and academic institutions were in the ideation stage. This is where initial use case capability exploration started. In 2016, we advanced to the POC stage. Various ideas were implemented by different education institutes and research faculties. New use cases were, given by enterprises, and that is where in 2017 we entered the prototype stage. Various use cases had initial prototype, and that is where industry and academia and other associations started partnering with each other, and then various consortia were created. Like industry specific consortia are available. There are a couple of consortia which are focused around supply chain. Couple of consortia are focused around diamond trade, and likewise These pilots projects came in the advance, and then they were tested with legacy systems in 2020. Now 2020 to 2022 is a phase of production where various pilot projects are going live in production. And come 2023, mass scale of blockchain would begin. So this is the technology roadmap until now. By 2023, we would see more and more use cases of blockchain. How blockchain works? User initiates a transaction using the digital signature. So unlike we want to initiate a transaction on our UPI app, let's say Google Pay, then you would actually try to log in, and then using your signature, you would log into a system. Then user broadcasts their transactions to multiple nodes that Chintan wants to send 100 rupees to Yash. And that is where you need to check whether Chintan has got 100 rupees of balance. And then if Chintan is eligible to transfer 100 rupees, then check the validity of another party who is able to receive the transaction. So there afterwards, one or more nodes in the network begin validation of each transaction, whether the transaction is legitimate, whether both the parties are available, and that is where nodes start validation, and then aggregate this nodes aggregate validated transaction into block. So once the transaction is validated, it is appended in the available block. Once the transaction is appended, nodes broadcast this block to each other. And that is where consensus protocol is used. How do we use consensus protocol? It is very simple methodology to follow. So for any number of network nodes in a given network, consensus is achieved as even 51% of the overall node population is accepting the transaction. And that is where once the consensus is achieved, the block reflecting the true state is chained to the prior block and transition is declared successful. So this is the way blockchain works. A trivia for all of us, Satoshi means wise in Japanese. What problem blockchain solves? We have covered definition, we have covered the building blocks, we have covered types of blockchain, we have also covered how blockchain works. Now let us understand what problem blockchain solves. So unlike if you look at the image shown on the right side, this is just like a tradition. It is a traditional ledger wherein various transactions are recorded. Blockchain helps us eliminate the middleman. It also eliminates double spending. When I say double spending, if you recollect, I gave example of me transferring 100 rupees to my friend in Bangalore. Then while I would be paying 2 rupees, my friend will also be paying some money to keep the account alive in that specific bank to receive that money. So that is how there is a double spend. In couple of use cases, the legacy process takes months of time, while if we use blockchain, the entire transaction can be completed in around 10 minutes time. So that is where blockchain helps us with improved speed and efficiency. It also provides and equips us with enhanced transparency. It provides enhanced security, real-time traceability. We can validate and verify any transaction, any product which is put on blockchain. It also helps with data integrity. Any information which has been put on blockchain cannot be edited or altered. To do some kind of edit, you need to create one more transaction, and then that is how we do the necessary audit. It also helps us with automation of account reconciliation. We would see various use cases and you would be able to realize that. Benefits of it brings us benefits of decentralization. I would cover benefits of decentralized network in next slides. It also helps us restore the trust because there is no party which can tamper the data. There is no one who can delete the data. There is no one who can manipulate or influence the security of the series of data. That is where blockchain helps us restore the trust. Blockchain helps us maintain single source of truth. It helps us bring accuracy in the system. It gives us transactional freedom, and it is also a technology convergence enabler. As I mentioned, it is a pizza-based technology. As when you converge blockchain with any other technology, you are able to get new use cases. So let us consider three types of network topologies. On the leftmost side, it is a centralized network. The middle one is a decentralized network, and the rightmost network is a distributed network. And then let us understand if any path connecting between 2 points is broken, then would the network go down? Probably not, because the distributed network helps us securely transact and provides us highest level of availability. These are various advantages of distributed network. In the interest of time, I would just skip them. Now let us consider 6 distinct use cases of blockchain. Please take your notes and make sure that you understand these 6 distinct use cases. If you understand these 6 use cases, you would be able to visualize and think through any use case of blockchain. Blockchain serves as a static registry. Popular example is land records. So land records, the land are not sold just like that very frequently. So that is where blockchain is termed as a static registry. Second use case of blockchain is smart contracts. As I mentioned, smart contracts are a piece of code which can be stored on blockchain, and as and when certain trigger arises, as and when certain conditions are met, the code is executed. A popular example is insurance, music, or supply chain. I would narrate example of supply chain. So if if Reliance is ordering some material, and then if a smart contract is used, then once the goods are delivered at the warehouse, the smart contract would get executed and required payment would automatically get transferred in vendor's account. So that is how smart contract use cases are, they are used in supply chain. This is the second distinct use case of blockchain. Third one is cryptocurrency, or we can say payment infrastructure, which facilitates money transfers. We have discussed blockchain, we have discussed Bitcoin, and that is where we would not spend any further time. Digital identity is another use case. Digital identity is mainly used for providing citizens services and governance. One of the citizen services is voting. Another citizen services is passport. So blockchain, we may have our government digital ID in future, which would serve as a single ID for multiple different what you call identities issued by different authorities. Right now, we have Aadhaar card, PAN card, health ID, and likewise. Fifth distinct use case of blockchain is it also serves as a dynamic registry. So when I say dynamic registry, let us consider a car trade platform. where multiple cars are sold, and one car may be, it may be sold multiple times every year or every 2 years, and that is where it may be. A blockchain can serve as a dynamic registry. Think of a container full of various types of goods traveling from New York to Mumbai. So the ship containing this container would be traveling via various countries, various ports. Different laws of the land are to be complied. Different regulators would check various data, and then they will do the needful check, and that is where the information related to that specific container can be stored on a blockchain. There are other distinct use cases like blockchain as a service, and as I mentioned, convergence of technologies like EI plus blockchain or IoT plus blockchain, and that is how we would get into the six distinct use cases of blockchain. I hope we are clear until now. Let me take a pause and ask a question to all of you. So I welcome questions. Do we have any questions until now? In case if anyone of you has a question, please feel free to put it in the chat window. We would go through all the questions and queries towards the end of the session. Now let us resume the presentation. This is the distributed ledger technology landscape. And if we see, blockchain is one of the building block of DLT, and crypto is one of the building block for blockchain. Another building block for DLT is consensus ledgers. We are yet to get into that specific domain. In the interest of time, I would also suggest that the ecosystem has got different use case. Many a times what happens is we try to interchange the word and terminology. So crypto is a use case of blockchain. Crypto does not mean blockchain, and blockchain does not mean crypto. So please make sure that we clearly differentiate between these two terminologies. Another component is a smart contract that we have already covered multiple times. So when do we use blockchain? I'll just, in the interest of time, we are already at 3:40. So we will not get into the text part, but we will go through the diagram itself. So this is the decision path when we can use blockchain, which is the fit use case for using blockchain. So we would deploy a blockchain if there is a need for shared common ledger. If it is there, then the next check would be, are multiple parties involved in this use case? So let us consider deployment of blockchain for a car trading platform. So yes, multiple parties are involved. Parties involved have conflicting incentives and are not trusted by default. Yes, the car trade platform would be accessed by various commission agents, various dealers, distributors, manufacturers, RTO, other government and local municipal agencies, buyers as well as sellers. And these all are do not trust each other by default. So it is yes for step number 3. Now let us go to step number 4. Are rules governing these specific transaction or the framework of participants are uniform. So rules governing participants are uniform or they are not uniform. No, they are not uniform. Different types of parties have a different interest and different set to be followed, and different information needs to be given to them. Do we need an objective and immutable log? Yes, we need an immutable log because we need to, store that which car is owned by which person and how one car is being sold to another person. So latest ownership of the car needs to be documented on that specific car trade platform. Rules of transactions do not change frequently. No, they do not change frequently, right? Another example, I after I finish this, I would give one more example. So rules of transactions do not change frequently. No, the car trade platform, once the rules are set, they do not undergo frequent changes except the tax rate, which keeps on coming, going through fluctuations from time to time. Are the transactions public? Yes, they are public, and that is where we can use a public blockchain network. If we would like to build a startup and we would not wish to keep this transaction public, then we can go for a permission or a private blockchain. In case of any question to the any of the question has got an answer as no, then blockchain is not required. Let us consider another example. What if we would like to deploy blockchain for a cinema hall? So a cinema hall has got 500 seats, and then let us consider, can we deploy blockchain for that specific use case? No, we cannot, because is there a need for a shared common database that who is sitting on which chair in which show? We do not need exactly. Are multiple parties involved? Yes, there are multiple parties involved. Parties involved have conflicting incentives and are not trusted. Probably not all parties have got a conflicting interest. So that is where we cannot deploy blockchain for a cinema hall ticketing solution. What if I told you Bitcoin is consuming more electricity than 139 countries combined? So this is the dark side of Bitcoins. Here we go. There are various use cases, and I have mentioned the startup or companies who are deploying blockchain for that specific use case. Like fintech, we have got a company called BankChain. This is an Indian company. It is a consortia of around 35 banks. And this blockchain company facilitates interbranch transactions for these 35 banks. And this has been deployed in India. For publishing, if you are an author and if you are publishing books, you are publishing articles, then authorship.com is the startup to watch out for. For real estate, Atlant and Rentberry are the startups to watch out for. For healthcare, Patientry and Blockchain are the startups who are implementing blockchain. For music, Mycelia and Ujo Music are the startups which are using blockchain. Now, for music, there has been a huge fight between the music creators, musicians, content generators like studios, and content distributors, who are the companies who are marketing the music. So once the music is created, then the creators do not have a visibility. How many CDs were printed, how many albums were sold, and what is the right amount of their royalty. So that is where blockchain in art, blockchain in music is a big use case for this market. For supply chain, way chain and ship chain are major providers. For government, various government services are on blockchain. Bool and Essentia are leading operators. For Industry 4.0, in various smart factories, IOTA and Walton Chain are leading players. Cloud compute companies are also using blockchain. Golem and Sonam are popular players there. For insurance, Etherisk and Everledger. Insurance is one of the lead adopters of blockchain. And let us go through a trivia. Switzerland, Estonia, and Malta are the most blockchain friendly countries. In these countries, we would see multiple use cases in production already. Various NGOs are also deploying blockchain. They are using AidCoin and Giveth. So in NGO, we can consider deploying blockchain. There are various blockchain as a service providers. Various companies are providing blockchain for messaging services. Civic and Self-Key are providing solutions for digital identity management. Winding Tree is one of the startup which is providing blockchain for tourism segment. For credit, VTrust and PayPal are one of the players. Stocks Augur are companies which are providing solutions for stock market, equity trading platforms, energy ledger, power ledger, and Grid Plus are one of the leading providers. Now, for energy, uh, there are multiple governments who are allowing two-way metering. So you can install a solar panel on your rooftop, and as and when you are generating more energy and consuming less energy, the additional units generated by you would get pumped back into the grid, and equivalent units would be credited in your digital wallet. So this is the first level of the use case. Now, in the second layer, consider yourself driving a scooter or driving a electric vehicle from Chennai to Bangalore, and you would be staying there for, let's say, a week. So during that specific journey, you would require to charge your vehicle multiple times. And that is where this use case, the energy trade use case, would enable you to use energy unit stored in your digital wallet to charge your vehicle. That is how government is deploying various use cases. They are piloting these use cases. In future, energy trade would also be possible. So you would be able to buy energy units. So as and when you think that this is the right time for you to buy energy units, you would be able to buy energy units and store it in your digital wallet. For advertising, Bat Token and Nikes are solution providers. There are various flavors available in job marketplace. Bank chain, as I just mentioned, I mentioned 35, actually there are 37 banks which are exploring, building and implementing blockchain solutions together. And proudly we are Indian. So this bank chain is a Indian service provider. One of the popular use cases, tracking of food from farm to fork, and that is where various use cases for fishing are available. So people would like to understand from which area this fish was, fished, or people would like to check which was the area where their coffee beans were grown, which was the area where their broccoli or potato were grown. And that is how these kind of platforms help us to track the food produce. Car leasing, we have discussed a couple of times. Ride share, unlike any other ride share platform, Arcade City and Chaser are the startups who are using blockchain for this specific use case. Unlike realty, We also have btoken.com as a house sharing platform on blockchain. There are various crypto exchanges, various social media platforms are coming up. Various gaming providers have started using blockchain for art, tracking the authenticity and value of art. Blockchain platform like Verisart are being deployed. First Bitcoin transaction worth 10,000 Bitcoins was made to purchase two pizzas. So this is another trivia. Blockchain is extensively used to track and trace diamond as well. World's leading diamond manufacturer, De Beers, has deployed a blockchain platform to track and trace diamonds which are being traded in their supply chain network. The name of the company is Tracer, so you can have a look at it at time of your choice. If you are a journalist, Civic is a platform which is providing solutions related to journalism industry. There are multiple company startups now who are providing various use cases for telecom providers, telecom network operators. For carbon credit, blockchain is being used. For social media platforms as well, blockchain is being used. I have a repository of around 150 use cases. In the interest of time, I'm not able to show the entire registry to you, but this is the way I have been building this registry over a period of time. So this is the summary of use cases, 6 distinct use cases: digital identity, smart card, cryptocurrency, static registry, dynamic registry, and convergence of multiple technologies or blockchain as a service platform. We have discussed energy trading platform as a use case, and in the interest of time, I would skip this. We've also discussed trading. So as and when a container ship travels from a different country to another country or between two continents, the ship would take a halt at various ports. They would load and unload and load various containers, various goods while taking, reaching at that specific port. And thus, while various law needs to be complied, different types of documents needs to be checked, validated, and authenticated by various authorities. Various authorities need to receive taxes and then give a stamp of confirmation. And this specific set of traditional activities take a lot of time. And that is where, if you consider that the entire process of documentation takes around 7 weeks, while the ship takes around 1 month to reach from one location to another location. But if we consider out of that specific 1 month, around 7 days are spent into checking, validating, and then processing the documents, then with use of blockchain, the entire cycle of around 7 days can be brought to just 1 hour. Blockchain is also being used in tracking and tracing various life-saving drugs, including COVID vaccines. Last year, government of Telangana, government of Karnataka, and various other governments use blockchain to track and trace supply of vaccine within their state. So these are the kind of use cases, popular ones. We discussed deployment of blockchain in music industry already. I would request you all to have a look at this video, Rise of Blockchain Technology. This video is by Simply Learn. This video has got a compilation of what you call vision of various global leaders. What do they think about blockchain, and then how do they see that how blockchain would transform the world? So please make a note and watch this video at time of your choice. These are various use cases of blockchain. As and when we say uh, different new use cases or different new technologies are being implemented, then if we look at adoption of technology, then government is one of the lead adopter in blockchain, followed by fintech, then telecom, manufacturing, healthcare, education, and then energy sectors. Here is a list of various blockchain initiatives which are either in pilot or in production stage in various states. This is the headquarter of India's blockchain policy. So you can go visit this web page blockchain.gv.in to access information about various government policies which are guiding adoption of blockchain, status of various use cases being deployed by government. If you look at, I mean, I have listed down multiple state governments and then what kind of use cases they have deployed by now. Like Karnataka has got entire e-governance on blockchain. Kerala has got supply chain and education. They are awarding certificates which are on blockchain, education certificates, degree certificates on blockchain. West Bengal has got supply chain, entire public distribution system is on blockchain. Tamil Nadu has also got a dedicated blockchain policy. This policy was announced in year 2020, and you can have a look at this specific policy on Tamil Nadu government website. So, in short, more than 50% state governments have conducted blockchain pilots and mainly into public distribution system, taxation, reconciliation of tax, like government of Goa has deployed a project for reconciliation of GST. Education system, multiple state governments are issuing blockchain verifiable certificates, and many governments have started using blockchain for tracking land records. And what would fuel up, what would catalyze these use cases is the India stack. Various new initiatives which are being driven by government in the healthcare education domain would fuel adoption of blockchain in government tech. One of the recent report by NASCOM also stated that blockchain in our country would be a pivotal technology. And the report mentions that Indian public sector would be driving adoption of blockchain. So this is where I would recommend you to kindly have a look at this NASCOM Blockchain Report 2019 in an offline viewing mode. These are the blockchain centers. These are the cities where most of the startups are concentrated. And in India, most of the startups are concentrated in Bangalore, then Hyderabad. I mean, when I'm saying most of the startup, it means these are the blockchain companies. So most of the blockchain companies are, they are incorporated or they're headquartered in Bangalore, then Hyderabad, then comes Chennai, then Gurugram, and then afterwards it's Mumbai. So these are the kind of top 5 cities in our country as well. While I am sharing the list of international centers, I have also narrated top 5 cities in our country. Many a times we are told that blockchain is transforming, new technology wave of disruption is hitting, and then there won't be any jobs for us. And I have a different view. All of us have got a role to play in the blockchain ecosystem. So if you are a developer, you can learn blockchain and join the ecosystem. If you are a architect, if you are a solution architect, then you can learn blockchain and become a protocol architect. If you are an advisor, if you are an analyst, you can learn blockchain basics and become a advisor or analyst in the ecosystem. If you're a network infrastructure specialist, if you're a network engineer, if you love to build networks. If you are part of a telco ecosystem, or if you have been an internet service provider, then you can become a network specialist in the blockchain ecosystem. If you are a QA/QC professional, you love to audit the code, and then you are a quality professional, then there is a space for you also. For all sales people, there are multiple use cases we just narrated. Various companies would need people to sell their product and services, and that is where all of us have got some room in the ecosystem. If you are a marketing professional, even if you are an admin manager, there is a job for you in all these companies. All these companies would need HR professionals. So there is job for all of us. And if you are a advanced researcher, you can become a blockchain interconnect specialist. So these are the kind of futuristic roles, but we wouldn't discuss it right here, right away. In short, I wanted to bring out to you that right from finance professional to admin manager to sales marketing professionals to strategy professionals to network infrastructure professionals to coders, the blockchain ecosystem welcomes all of us. All we need to do is learn basics, and we would be able to work with various blockchain companies. Have a look at the demand of blockchain professionals. This has been published by a site called Hired. And if we look at the demand for blockchain professionals, it has jumped to 517%. So blockchain is one of the most sought after technology, and the demand for blockchain engineer is growing day by day. These are the training courses which you can go through. You can begin your journey of learning blockchain using these multiple courses. Take a screenshot, and then I hope you would find these courses interesting and insightful. We have learned the importance of blockchain, what kind of benefits blockchain brings in, and we are also looking at various use cases. However, why we are not seeing blockchain around us right now? And this is the reason, these are the challenges which is stopping and mass adoption of blockchain right now. So first one is initial cost. A new blockchain network needs around a sizable amount of nodes. A typical blockchain network of decent size would have around 5,000 nodes. And the deployment of these 5,000 nodes itself is a capital sensitive activity. And that is where initial cost right now serves as a challenge for the blockchain adoption. Integration with legacy systems. Why would any enterprise provider integrate blockchain with the legacy system? It also attracts cost, as well as it also doubles up the network infrastructure architecture. Energy consumption. We discussed Bitcoin itself is consuming more energy than 135 countries combined. Public perception. General public is not convinced right now. Any transaction blockchain would require a cost, and who would be paying that cost? So let us consider, if you have a, diamond, and if you would like to verify the cost of a diamond or authenticity of a diamond, then you wouldn't mind paying 100 rupees for that specific transaction. But if I tell you that, I will tell you that in which farm the strawberry you are eating was grown, then would you mind paying 100 rupees for that? No, you wouldn't like to pay 100 rupees for just for validating and getting that information. So that is where public perception in terms of cost, in terms of usage, is serving as a key challenge. Network size, we just discussed. A sizable network has got around 5,000 nodes, and the size itself is serving as a hurdle. Privacy and security. This is a advantage as well as disadvantage. Many a times in Western culture, they believe that such information should be public, but we believe that it is not a public information. In Western countries, land ownership is a public information, while we Indians prefer to keep it a personal, a secret information limited to us and our family only. We wouldn't wish that whatever properties we own should be put on a database that can be accessed by anyone. Speed itself is a hurdle, though the average speeds are less than 10 minutes, but multiple use cases still need faster processing, and that is where speed is serving as a challenge. Cost of cost per transaction, we just discussed the cost, cost of validation of a product. If it is 100 rupees, then for a diamond that is okay, user wouldn't mind paying. But for a food produce, the cost per transaction would be uh, invalid cost. It will not be a feasible option to deploy. Government and traditional players. Uh, while the blockchains are being deployed in various countries, the government itself, there is no uniform global body who is helping develop the interoperability between various blockchains. So that is also serving as a challenge. And last but not the least, the ethical part. These blockchains, which are especially the private blockchains, we always have a doubt on the ethics, on the governance and maintenance of these blockchains. So let us revisit. We have understood, we started with history of blockchain, we understood the what you call benefits of the blockchain. We also understood the typical architecture, the building blocks of ecosystem, and then afterwards we visited various use cases. We also understood how blockchain works. We also understood what benefit blockchain would bring, and we also shared various resources like recommended trainings and other information. If you say blockchain one more time, and I'm going to shoot you. And here is one more documentary, The Blockchain and Us. This is a film by Manuel Staggers. I would request all of you to view this in an offline mode. So this is what is going to be the summary and last slide for my session today. Blockchain does not equal to cryptocurrency. Comply to the law of the land and do not indulge into crypto trading. I explain Bitcoin as one of the use cases. My intention was not to encourage you to invest into any kind of cryptocurrency. Blockchain technology is here to stay and grow. So it is, and early adopters would win. So it is always recommended that you pick up one technology and start deep diving into the technology and become master of that specific technology. Blockchain has transformed Internet of Information to Internet of Value. By 2022, actually, there is an error. So by 2022, many of our business houses and government could adopt blockchain. Pilots are already in progress. And last but not the least, yes, there is an opportunity window to learn blockchain and grow along with the blockchain ecosystem. So that's it from my side. Let's connect and collaborate. I have shared my LinkedIn ID. Thank you so much. And we can go ahead and take questions. So with this, I am stopping my presentation.
Thank you very much, sir. Participants, please feel free to post your questions in the chat window. Humble request to participants, if you have any queries, please feel free to post it in the chat window.
But madam, chat box is disabled.
Yes, ma'am.
You please make it enable. Yes, thank you.
Now it is enabled, ma'am.
you can try.
Please feel free to share your questions.
Participants, please
Sir,
post your questions.
Sir, this is Geetali here.
Yes.
I have one question.
Yeah,
That
please go ahead.
if suppose I have the Bitcoin, can I in cash by ATM or some other means?
Yeah, so there are cryptocurrency exchanges who have started deploying ATMs. So these ATMs facilitate conversion of cryptocurrency from one currency to other currency and to crypto to fiat currency or to, like dollars also. So yes, so at a crypto exchange node or at crypto ATM, you can do the transaction.
But it is possible in India.
No, it is not.
Can we purchase some item from Amazon by Bitcoin?
In India, no.
So it means in India we cannot, if we have the Bitcoins, we cannot enjoy the Bitcoin.
Yeah, we do not have clarity from government, so that is where none of the provider is accepting Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. So sooner, maybe in 2022, we would have clarity. Am I able to answer your question, madam? Next question, please. Or request admin to kindly enable, do the needful changes so that anyone can unmute and ask a question. Okay, so there being no questions, I would request the host to kindly
Sir,
take
I
over.
have one more question.
Yes, please
If
go ahead.
suppose if I have some Bitcoins and I want to get admission in a foreign university, so in that case, may I enjoy this Bitcoin?
So you have Bitcoin, but the other party, the other entity must honor and accept Bitcoins,
Okay.
right? So if you are, let us a hypothetical example, be it New Zealand or Canada, if you have decided for that specific university, and if that university is accepting Bitcoin, then definitely you can pay.
Okay.
Right.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Any other questions, participants? I guess we don't have, sir. Participants, we have posted the feedback link in the chat window. I request everyone to please spare 2 minutes of your time and fill in the feedback. Sir, I think we've come to the end of the session. Thank you very much, sir. It was such an enriching session, and that was a very elaborate session touching upon the evolution, uses of blockchain, the sectors impacted, and how it actually supported during the pandemic, challenges, and so many other topics that were touched on. Thank you very much, sir, for such a very interesting session. And thanks to all the participants for your time. We also thank the technical assistants for their technical support. And thanks to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My pleasure. Thank you. With your kind permission, may I log off, Dr. Srividya?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone. Have a good evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.